Hey guys, hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today in this video I'm going to talk about that what are the things you need to do after qualifying your CSI NET exam. How to get your fellowships, what are the documents and what are the certificates which you are going to get, which you should apply to get, and how to get them, and then with those certificates how you can reimburse your fellowship. So in case if you have qualified your CSI NET exam and if you are wondering what to do next and what would be the next step, how to get all the certificates and like what you have to do for that and how to like start your fellowship, how to reimburse your fellowship. So all those things I'm going to talk about in this video. All right, so without wasting any time, let's continue with our video. All right, so first of all, I'll talk about that if you are a CSIR or UGC JRF qualified. Okay, so if you are a JRF qualified, that means you are eligible for two things. You are NET qualified already and you are JRF qualified. Okay, so you are going to get two certificates, one for your NET qualification and the other one for your JRF qualification. Now, basically, as you all know, I have already discussed about these things in my previous videos that there are two types of JRF. One is CSIR JRF for science students, and like for science students, there are two types of JRF. One is CSIR JRF, and one is UGC JRF. And I already told you about all those things, so I'm not going to repeat them. But yeah, for both of the students, like if you have CSIR JRF, if you have qualified CSIR JRF, or if you have qualified UGC JRF, for both of them, the method or the way of taking the certificate or getting the certificate is different. Okay, the certificate will be same, but the way of getting it will be different. So for, let's say, if you are a CSIR JRF qualified, then you have to wait and you have to keep on checking the CSIR website. That is the official website of CSIR. Like I'll be giving you the link of that in the description, don't worry about that. So the official CSIR website, you have to keep on checking that, and their notification will come. Okay, there are notification will come. The notification will state that you have to provide so and so documents. So they are going to ask you for your your master's mark sheet. They are going to ask you for your, if you belong to certain category, they will ask you the category certificate. They will ask your income certificate. In case you have applied under EWS category, they will be asking you about your EWS certificate. So whatsoever certificate is necessary, they are going to ask for that. Apart from that, they will also ask for your photograph, like your passport size photograph. They're also going to ask you for your address, okay, the correspondence address and the permanent address, and your ID cards and all, like your Aadhaar card and all those things. So these things they are going to ask you uh, to send it through mail, like through email or through post. Generally in the previous years, it used to be happen through a post. Okay, they used to ask to send it hard copy of that to the provided address. I don't know whether because of the COVID and all, maybe they will change the process, but that's what it is. Okay, you have to send those documents, and once the documents reaches them, they will then send your JRF certificate at the permanent address or at the address which you will provide them, the address which you will specify them that at this address you want, they will send you at that address. Okay, so this is for CSIR JRF. So for those students who have qualified CSIR JRF. For those who have qualified UGC JRF, sciences or non-sciences, anyone, okay, all of you comes under the same category. So if you have qualified UGC JRF, okay, for that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to wait. Within, I think 90 days of the exam result comes. 90 days, I think I'm telling too much. It's around 60 days, okay, less than 2 months. You are going to get your JRF certificate at your permanent address by post. Okay, so they are not going to ask you for any document. This is what till now it used to happen, that UGC does not used to ask for any document from you. It just simply sends the certificate at your permanent address. So whatever your permanent address you have provided in the while the filling of form, they are going to send that JRF certificate to that. Okay, so these are the two types of ways in which you will get, but this is for JRF qualified student. Now the JRF certificate comes, and that certificate is very valuable. You will read out the certificate, every information, every instruction is there. I'll give you an image of that. You can see how does it looks like. And yeah, that's what it is, and it's a very important document. So some tip I'll just tell you. First of all, when you apply for fellowship, you have to submit, you have to submit your JRF certificate. So you won't be having, once you apply it for fellowship, you won't be having any proof that you have qualified JRF. So it's just a tip that you should take a colored photocopy of that particular certificate, or you should take it, you should keep it digitally with you, so that in future if needed and if it is asked to show or to prove that you qualified JRF, you should have that thing, right? So yeah, it's just a tip. Okay, you can do that. Once you get a JRF certificate, just get a color photocopy of that. So just get it laminated and keep it with you. Okay, keep it safe with you. And how to get the get the fellowship and all, I'll talk about that a little later. Let's talk about the second certificate which you are going to get, that is LS certificate or NET certificate. Okay, that you are eligible for assistant professorship. So that certificate also you will get. So this certificate even a JRF qualified student will also get, and a LS qualified student is also going to get the same. Both of you guys are going to get this certificate, but this certificate you will not get by post, or you will not get this physically. This is just a e-certificate. Okay, you will get it online. So you have to reach out to the NTA website, but because now NTA conducts that, so you have to reach out to the NTA website, and over there you have to give all the details, like your roll number will be asked, your date of birth will be asked, and your mobile number which you have applied. So these three things will be asked, and by providing all of them, you can log in and you can just make your ID and password, and from there you can download that in PDF format, and you can get it color printed so that you can keep it with you. Okay, so that's about your UGC certificate. UGC certificate stays online, but it's recommended that you should download it and you should keep it with you. It's also a very important document. Now this is about the certificates. Okay, so two types of certificates. Either if you are a JRF qualified, you will get both of them. If you are just LS qualified, you will just get that LS certificate, just that like the e-certificate. Okay, now let's talk about that, how to get your fellowship. Okay, how you are going to reimburse that fellowship. So I'll take two conditions. I'll take two conditions in it. Let's say if a student is already enrolled in PhD and he is doing PhD, and during his PhD he qualified JRF. In that case, it's pretty simple. You have to go to the admin block of your institute and you have to provide your JRF certificate over there, and all the paperwork which they will ask you to do. So just with that, you will be able to get the fellowship according to the JRF. Okay, now your institute fellowship is going to get stopped over there, and now you will start getting your JRF certificate. So that is, this particular thing is for those who have, those who are already enrolled in PhD. For those who are not enrolled into PhD and those who are going to get enrolled into it in future, for them also you have to keep that JRF certificate. Once you get admission to a particular institute, you can provide your JRF certificate to the admin block of that, and they are going to tell you the other process, because this process depends upon different institute to institute. Okay, but something remains common, that you should have a bank account in your name, and you have to provide that bank account details, so that that will get linked with your fellowship account. So whatever amount will be credited, that will come directly to your bank account. University does not has to do anything in between. They are just going to, every month they are just going to update that yes, you are continuing your PhD. That's called as continuation certificate and all. So UGC asks for that. So if you are in a university, you have to provide continuation certificate every month. That's UGC JRF ask for that. Okay, so every month you have to submit a continuation certificate, and that certificate will be uploaded by your institute, and then you will get the next month fellowship. Okay, about your CSIR fellowship, if you are getting CSIR fellowship, you have to provide this continuation certificate after every 3 months. Okay, so the time is different for both of them. So this is how you have to get your fellowship. Okay, so you need your documents. First of all, the first step after qualifying CSIR NET exam is to get your certificates with you. Okay, once you get your certificate, then you can go for the next process of getting the fellowship. Okay, to apply it for the fellowship. So this was the process, and I guess most of you were asking me in the comments that you don't know what is the next step to do. Okay, after qualifying the CSIR NET exam. So this is the next step. Okay, I guess now it's quite clear. If you have any doubt regarding it, you can ask me in the comment sections below. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video because it's going to be informative and it's going to be helpful for many of you, because many students don't know what to do after qualifying the CSIR NET exam. So I hope the video was helpful to you, and I hope this is going to add a value to your to your knowledge. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.